The year changed. The numbers on the calendar moved forward. But if you're honest, your heart still feels stuck. You walked into this new year carrying old prayers that never got answered, old disappointments you never talked about, old wounds you thought time would heal, but didn't. And maybe you're asking yourself quietly, is this year really going to be different? Or is it just another reset that changes nothing?
Here's the truth that ancient wisdom reminds us of every single year. The universe doesn't need a perfect past to give you a powerful future. It doesn't need you to have it all figured out. It just needs your willingness to trust again. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. This isn't just a new year. This is an invitation. 1. Your story isn't finished. One of the most dangerous thoughts we carry into a new year is the belief that we're already too late.
Too late to change. Too late to start over. Too late to become who we were called to be. We look at our age. We look at our past. We look at the mistakes that still echo in our memory. And quietly we tell ourselves, if life was going to do something with me, it would have happened by now. But that thought does not come from truth. The universe is not bound by your timeline. It is not pressured by your delays. And it is not disappointed in the way you think it is.
Ancient wisdom teaches, he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. Notice what this doesn't say. It doesn't say you will finish the work. It says the work will be finished through you. That means even when your faith is weak, even when your consistency falters, even when you feel unsure or exhausted, something greater remains committed to what was started in you. You may feel like you've taken detours. You may feel like you've wasted seasons. You may even feel like you disqualified yourself.
But history shows us something powerful. Greatness does not abandon people because of process. Moses was 40 years in the wilderness before stepping into purpose. David was anointed king but spent years hiding in caves. Joseph dreamed early but waited through betrayal, prison, and silence. From a human perspective, all of them looked delayed. From destiny's perspective, they were being prepared. Delay is not denial. Waiting is not wasted time. And silence does not mean absence. If you woke up today, if you were carried through last year, if you kept standing when you should have fallen apart, then it's because your assignment is still active. This new year is not about proving your worth. You already have it. It's about trusting that the same force that sustained you in confusion will complete its work in clarity. 2. Letting go of what was never meant to follow you. One of the hardest parts of stepping into a new year isn't starting something new. It's releasing what you thought would last. Some people didn't come with you. Some dreams didn't survive the season. Some prayers didn't get answered the way you hoped. And if we're honest, part of you is still holding on, not because it was good for you, but because letting go feels like admitting defeat. But here's a truth we rarely want to face. Life does not remove things to punish you. It removes them to protect you. Ancient wisdom says, cast all your anxiety away because you are cared for. There are burdens you were never meant to carry into this year. Guilt that keeps replaying old mistakes. Regret that whispers, if only you had tried harder. Attachments that feel familiar even when they are slowly draining you. What you call loss, destiny often calls release. Abraham had to leave his homeland before he could step into the promise. The Israelites had to leave Egypt, but they kept Egypt in their hearts. And that's why the wilderness felt longer than it needed to be. You can leave a season physically and still carry it emotionally. That's why growth doesn't just move you forward. It heals you on the way. Some relationships ended because they couldn't grow where you were being taken. Some doors closed because they were familiar, not faithful. Some prayers weren't answered because they would have delayed your purpose. And yes, letting go hurts. It feels unfair. It feels confusing. It feels like you're being asked to trust without explanation. But life never asks you to release something without already planning what will replace it. You cannot receive what's being prepared while clinging to what you're being gently asked to release. Some of what you're holding on to belongs to a version of you that no longer exists. This year, you're not being asked to forget. You're being asked to trust enough to let go, because what's ahead of you requires lighter hands, not clenched fists. 3. This year will require trust, not control. Most of us enter a new year with a silent demand, show me the whole plan. But faith doesn't work like that. The universe rarely gives the full picture, because if it did, you wouldn't need to trust. Ancient wisdom teaches, trust with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Some of the most powerful seasons in your life will begin with uncertainty. You won't know how it will work. You won't know when it will happen. You won't know why it has to unfold this way. But you will know this: you are not alone. This year, stop asking, what if it goes wrong? And start asking, what if life shows up in ways I never expected? 4. When fear tries to follow you into the new year. Fear doesn't disappear just because the year changes. Fear will whisper, what if you fail again? What if nothing changes? What if you hope too much? But fear is not your leader. Fear is not your authority. Fear does not get the final word. Ancient scripture says, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, for you will not walk alone. Courage doesn't mean you're not afraid. It means you move forward anyway. And here's the promise for this year: you will not walk it alone. 5. Life specializes in new beginnings. History is filled with stories of fresh starts. Noah after the flood, Moses after the desert, Peter after denial, Paul after a past he couldn't erase. The universe doesn't cancel people, it redeems them. Ancient wisdom declares, if anyone is in truth, the new creation has come. The old has gone. The new is here. This year isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming who you were always intended to be. 6. When the year feels quiet or slow. Not every year comes with fireworks. Some years come quietly, with small steps, with hidden growth. And that doesn't mean nothing is happening. Be still and know. If this year feels slow, if it feels ordinary, if it feels like nothing big is happening, trust this: foundations are being built that you'll thank life for later. 7. Hope for the year ahead. No matter how the last year ended, this year begins with hope. Not wishful thinking, not blind optimism, but grounded hope. Ancient wisdom promises, I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Your future is not random, your life is not an accident, and this year is not empty. As you step into this new year, remember, you don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to keep walking. One step at a time. One act of faith at a time. Drop a comment right now that says, this year will be different. Declare it, because that declaration shifts something. Hit subscribe because we drop content every week for people who refuse to stay stuck and believe in fresh starts. Share this with someone who needs to hear that it's not too late. Someone who needs permission to hope again. Remember, you're not being asked to be perfect. You're being asked to trust again. Choose faith over fear, trust over control, hope over regret. The same force that carried you through last year will walk with you through this one. And it is not done with you yet. This is your year. Now go make it count.